Fleep 3D is saying, hello, Matt. I've been following this channel for a few years now. I love the general approach to fitness you promote. Thank you. How do you feel about kettlebells, specifically kettlebell swings? I love kettlebells. I always like to play with them a lot. I used to make kettlebell jewelry back in the day. I'd get these little novelty kettlebells and have it on necklaces and things like that. I always thought it was pretty cool. I like kettlebells. When it comes to external loads, because of course I'm all about the body weight training and isometrics and stuff, but when it comes to external loads, I'm a big fan of ground-based hand weights, of which kettlebells are. I remember, maybe I'm showing my age a little here, but I remember when kettlebells first came on the scene and people were like, oh my gosh, this is so good for my back and everything. And it's like, well, yeah, now you've got a weight that starts on the floor and it ends on the floor. It's not on a rack. Of course, now we got kettlebell racks and stuff, but it starts on the floor, it ends on the floor. So every single time you're deadlifting it up, you've got to use your posterior chain. You've got to use your glutes. You have your full body stability. You don't have benches. You don't have any braces and preacher curl benches and everything. It's you and the weight, and that's it. And for the most part, when it comes to working with external loads, that's how I recommend people should be using external loads. Because the more you have to have external supports, the less support and structural stability you're creating in your muscles. So kettlebells are great for that. You can also do it with dumbbells, sandbags. A lot of times when I see people set up a home gym and they're like, I'm going to get a barbell, like I usually will recommend get just the barbell for several months. Don't bother with a rack. Don't get a squat rack. Don't get a bench and anything like that. Just the barbell for the same reason, because I'm a big fan of that ground-based loading, because that's what I think most people should use. I like kettlebells also because they require finesse and power and stuff. And rightfully so, a lot of people will say, well, that means that you're training to get good at using kettlebells. Of course, that's what all training is. All training is about getting good at the exercise you're doing. There's no such thing as any type of exercise that makes you good at everything. It's just it makes you good at kettlebell training. Yeah, but there's always more functional carryover with that. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The kettlebell swing is your bread and butter. That is your classic loaded, powerful hip movement. I know people who are into lots of different training modalities, and they're like, dude, I feel bad. Why? Well, the only thing I'm doing with the kettlebell is swinging it. It's like, great. A lot of times, especially if we're using multiple modalities, you're going to find there's 1, 2, maybe 3 primary exercises you would use a tool for, and that's it. And that's great. That's fantastic.